Hello, my name is SilverDarkPhoenix, and this is my unboxing of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And as you can see, I have already taken off the clean film of the actual... I had to open the actual game because I had heard some negative comments about the game. Because some people have problems installing the fourth disc from the retail copy. If you do have problems with the fourth disc, you can actually install the manual update from the website. You don't have to install it from the fourth disc. So if you are having problems from the fourth disc, you can install the update from the actual website. So yeah, so I did install this. It does work perfectly at this point. I have heard some people having problems with bugs, issues and stuff, but they still have, it's still a very good game. I've only played the tutorial at this moment, and it's yeah, it's a bit like Skyrim, but it has more elements for magic and more logic built into it. You have to kill certain creatures. You have to know a bit about the creature before you actually kill it. So this is actually a good game for people who want to learn a bit more into myth and mythology of the actual Witcher world. So anyway, this is the front of the actual, I think this is the standard edition. Rated 18, so. This is the back of it. As you can see, it's in French because I found it actually cheaper in France than in English. The English one was at least 50 to 60 pounds, while the French version was only €45, which is like only 25 pounds at this point. So, which is kind of a good deal to get the same game but for cheaper. Anyway, the requirements of this game. This is the minimal requirements, and this is the recommended requirements. The minimal requirements is that you can play the game, but it won't be graphically stunning. So if you have Windows 7 64-bit or Windows 8 or 8.1 64-bit, the software has to be a DX11. In other words, you haven't got much of a choice. It has to be DX11. It might be upgraded to DX12 when Windows 10 comes out, but at this point it doesn't actually mention anything about that. So also it's an Ivy Bridge i5-25K, which is running at 3.3 gigahertz, and an AMD Phantom 2 X4940. That's quite small, the requirements. These are very small. You still need a quad core. I think that's what she tries to tell you, is you need at least a quad core to play this game. And a GTX 660 or an HD 7870 or a 7870, which is a Radeon AMD graphics card, and at least 6 gigs of RAM. You do need a very large amount of memory, like 35 gigs of memory. And it says that to have a decent home theater with advanced audio capabilities, to actually appreciate the actual surroundings and the sounds of the music. But recommended, it's a bit upgraded, but it's the same Windows 7. Focus. It's still Windows 8. That's a bit better. Focus. It's both 64-bit, DX11. This time it jumps up to an i7 3770, running at 3.4 gigahertz. In other words, it's an i7, which is 4 cores, which is 8 threads. An AMD FX. I think that's the camera just focuses. Come on, come on. There we go. 8350, running at 4 gigahertz. So you still need a decent to run this game at a proper speed. You have to at least have a decent Ivy Bridge, or I think it's a couple years old AMD processor. But you do need a very high-end graphics card. It states here that you need at least a GTX 770, if the camera just focuses, there we go, and an AMD R9 290, and at least 8 gigs of RAM and 35 gigs of actual H drive. So yeah, it's a kind of a very aggressive game, and if you have an AMD graphics card, there are people saying that there are problems with this game because it's being produced by NVIDIA, but there are going to be updates to help this game produce better frame rates if you have AMD. So I'm just going to open this up. It's just a normal cardboard box that you get, which I find was very strange, is why they had 2 separate cases. I mean, there's a lot of cases out there that could have at least one case with all 4 discs or even 5 discs in one case. You don't need 2 cases, which is kind of a waste of plastic, I think. This is the first and the third disc. You don't actually get that much in there apart from the discs themselves. You get 3 of the discs as well as the manual and as well as this is the French manual, because it has to be reprinted in the French language. If you can't understand French or anything like this, the game comes with an English manual already in the discs, already installed, so you can download the manual or you can actually just look inside the discs themselves. The 4th disc comes with the soundtrack. I think this is the back of what this shows you what music is on that soundtrack. You also get, inside the case, you get the map, but that's just logo stuff. There's the 2 stickers that come with the actual game, and this is the map, if I can unfold this and show it properly. Don't want to rip it. I would prefer the map not to be paper, but the same kind of paper as the Skyrim map was. So there it is. It shows you the whole and how big this place is. Because I think one area, like one tiny little area, is like it's like a city worth in Skyrim. So it's massive. And there's so many places, many different factions. There's actually a war going on in the game itself as well. And there's thieves and I haven't met all the creatures yet. I've just finished doing the tutorial, so you have to forgive me. I don't know all of this. I just know that the magic things, the actual stores, that kind of stuff at this moment. I'm fighting the Griffin, but so yeah, this is all that's in the actual game. I wish I got the collector's edition of the game, but that sold out very quickly and it was very, very expensive. So I wish I did actually have the collector's edition to open up. But anyway, this is what you can expect in the standard edition. I have to point out I did pre-order this game, but I think that really didn't do much when you pre-order a game. You still, even if you don't pre-order a game, you still buy the game. They still send you out the pre-ordered version of the game, especially from Amazon. Anyway, this was my unboxing of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and my name is SilverDarkPhoenix, and I'll see you next time.